thoughts, views, and opinions of this podcast are for those who don't give a fuck about others' thoughts, views, and opinions. We say what the fuck we want to say, and if that's how we feel, that's how we feel, and if you hurt, so what? Keep it alone. Respectfully. Welcome to the show.
The fuck is going on, guys? Welcome back.
What up, though?
What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of Respectfully a Pod Show. Episode 33. I did the math. I figured it out. We're on episode 33. So, yeah, we here. I'm here. Trey's here. Trey motherfucker's here. S. Dot's here. Swayze's here. Bald head, dead head, red head. Trey. Other Trey is on
Living his best life.
living his best life on vacation, doing his stuff. Dizzle.
Facts.
So yeah, this is what we got tonight. How's everybody doing, man?
Man, I'm pretty good. Just chilling.
Pretty good. That's what's up. So, Shannon, you good, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I have a really good, decent weekend.
That's what's up. I do want to put out here, Trey motherfucker's a little under the weather. So for those of you who are tuned in to hear his wonderful, soothing voice, it just may not be the same tonight. But either way it goes, like a champion, he still made it.
You say like a champion?
Yeah, he made it like a champion.
Ugh,
No,
you sound sick. No,
He just said that, nigga.
This nigga said, ugh, he sounds sick. But anyways, just the same way we like to thank Trey for still being a good sport and making it tonight. We like to thank all of those out there who decided to turn us on and give us a listen as well. All of our followers, all that shit, we appreciate you. If you're not following, make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good cliche shit. We got a good show for y'all tonight. We're gonna get right into it. So a question came up across the group chat, and it was, if you could pick a decade or era of time to live out like your adult years, so like from the moment you turn 18 to, let's say, what we say, 45, 50, those just kind of those golden years of life. I don't know if those are the golden years, but you know what the fuck I mean. If you could pick a time and era or decade, when would you pick? What era would you pick and why? If anybody would like to go first, the floor is open. Okay.
I can go first. I thought about this for a hot second. It's tough for me to pick though. Like it would be like late '90s, early 2000s. Those like General Motors, that General Motors time. I would say TNT, but nobody knows what that is. So I would say like General Motors time. I think I would rest right there. It was kind of like chill, making good money. I was young. So I would say like that early 2000s, late 90s.
So you're saying the era that you grew up in is the era that you would choose. If you could choose any time, that would be the time that you would choose over
Yeah,
any other time.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
for sure.
So what about that time? Um, you know, is are you choosing that
I
over?
think I think at that time I didn't really have really many responsibilities. I really wasn't like adulting at that time. So I was kind of like making good money, chilling.
No. The question is not if you could pick a time, not pick a time in your current life. Pick a time throughout history. If you could place yourself during those years in any era, so the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, would you still pick the time that you grew up in, or would you do you think life might have been better or whatever in a different time?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll wait. Let me come back to
The
me.
floor is yours.
Come back to you. Okay. No problem. I'll go. I mean, so for me, I thought about it. And so for me, I think I would have to say like maybe the 50s or the 60s. Um, I just felt like life was simpler then. Not necessarily easier, but I feel like I feel like our generation just got it just like straight up ass, bro. Like I just feel like we just came right out of high school and shit was just like fucked up and it's been fucked up ever since. It's like we didn't have a shot. I mean, I'm not gonna say we don't have a shot
I
because
mean,
I'm not gonna put everything on everyone else, but I mean, between 9/11, the whole entire world changing, shit is just expensive as fuck. Like we grew up our whole life watching gas prices look like kind of how gas prices should be. As we were beginning to get our license, we're going to war and gas prices going up and the world changing and then everything just all prices just going up and cost of living going up and uh, society being more realistic and kind of moving further away from God and just like the traditional values of like family. We weren't getting the same messages I feel like maybe they were back in the 50s. Life was simpler. You went to school, hopefully you got a job. Now I understand that maybe opportunities weren't as equal at the time. So even though maybe cost of living was lower and things cost a lot less and you could afford them and you could raise a whole family on a like one income, dad got one job and he's supporting the whole house and the whole family. Mom took care of the crib. um,
but I mean, if that's what you're trying to do, you should. I would have picked the 80s and 90s. The 50s and 60s is rough, especially being a black man.
yeah, I mean, but we still that's what I'm saying. He's got to kind of have a give and take. As far as maybe that's what I said. I mean, the lack of opportunity wasn't as strong as it is today. But the cost of just surviving, living, and taking care of a family nowadays is like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it almost takes two incomes just to raise a family. Back then, you can possibly get one of those General Motors jobs or a job at whatever the local factory is, and just dad had to work, but he was able to have a house, buy a house, opportunities to buy a house. Maybe it was a little bit more bias, and those opportunities you didn't necessarily get a equal shake all the time, but the general sense of it all, went to high school, you liked the girl, maybe you went out to eat a few times, you dated her, you liked her, you got married and started a family. It wasn't about do you make six figures, do you have this and that, and you know, I just felt like relationships meant more back then. Uh Life was a little just more simpler. That's all. That's my answer.
Yeah, I guess coming back to it, I guess I would choose the 80s. I don't know how to choose anything besides that. I guess, I don't know what was happening back then. I do know that, like gas prices was 50 cent a gallon probably back then, but I guess I would choose the 80s when I was born. I guess I would sit right there.
So you wanna have your adult life in the 80s?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay.
Um, so I looked up a couple of things real quick, and then I'll let someone else go. But here's a couple of pros and cons of the '80s. Pros are more financial success and freedom for Black men through sports, music, and business. Some couples thrived in the rise of Black excellence in dual income households. Media began to celebrate Black love. Some of the cons was the crack epidemic, um, mass incarceration tore families apart. Independent women era clash with provider men expectations. Infidelity glamorized in entertainment. Marriage rates dropped. More single parents households at that time.
Yeah. Um, so I don't know. For me, I mean, I guess it just depends on I feel like half of my adulthood I did not have kids, and then the other half of my adulthood I had kids. So my 20s to 29, I didn't have kids. And then 29 up until now, I have kids. So, um, yeah, I feel like having kids, like I'm all about family. I don't really care to go out or do anything. I just love being around my family and stuff. So I feel like the 50s, 60s, like, that's back in the day when, I mean, so like that's when they had strong families back then. But being colored, I don't know. I think if anything, maybe the 80s. So I feel like the 80s, like Jermaine said earlier, you could have one, like the dad could go out and work and, you could provide for your family. Um, you could raise kids, you could buy a house, take vacations, damn near on just one income. Um, you know, but I don't know, kind of like Shannon. I feel like I kind of like the life that I live now. So, um, I feel like I'm kind of cool with how everything went. Because as a kid, I got to experience certain things, and you know, where I am now, like I like video games, so I'd rather play video games the way it is now.
You,
I don't think I would be an adult. I don't think it'd be much fun hanging out with my friends playing like NBA Jam or NBA Live 95.
but
Like,
it was at that time though.
yeah, I
You
mean, it
don't
was
get to this
lit for
moment.
sure,
You don't get to this
but
moment without our dads. I remember my dad would be playing like
nah, yo, I
what was
take
that?
that back. Yeah, I take that back. I take that back. Because
Double dribble.
once you said that, man, we had a cousin named Jerome, and he was a gamer. And yeah, so that yeah, we were
I re-
definitely they were definitely playing Madden 95 and letting me play with them every now and then. They have fun, but yeah, I feel like I'm all over the place. But to sum it up, um, I feel like I would want to do like the 80s and 90s. Like like turn 20, when the 80s started, and then the 90s, like my 30s to 40s. So um, you know, my main reason, like Jermaine said, life was simple back then. Um, I know how to use the technology, but at the end of the day, I just don't like using it. I just wish life could be more simple. Because then, shit, if then my kids would have grew up and they would experience the life that I got to live, like the 90s, you know what I mean? Going outside, riding your bike and just living life, man, not having to FaceTime people, just being able to talk to them face to face, meeting up in parking lots and just hanging out. Just everything was better back then, I think. But yeah, I would go with the 80s, 90s. So if
80s,
that
90s.
makes any sense.
Except for the video games, according to Swayze. Shout
Yeah,
out.
but I mean, you brought up a good point, man. I mean, the video games back then, bro, they were lit. I mean, my dad and my cousin Jerome, I mean, bro, I remember them playing everything. NHL 97, 95, fucking Joe Montana 93 or some shit
Mhm.
like that. So, I mean, yeah, video games were fun back then, but yeah, I just like the simple life though. I like being around my family and being around my kids, and nowadays everybody's stuck on their phone. Not even the kids, the adults, So it's like,
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. I understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine a little bit. Keep mine a little bit short, but I'll probably go with I'm probably gonna go with like the 60s, 70s, just because it was like everybody was saying it was simple back then. Um, you could live off of one income family wise. Kind of what all you guys already said. It was a simpler time. Will I miss the technology? Would I miss the technology? I mean, first off, I wouldn't know the technology actually existed because obviously we weren't in that era yet. But at the same point, sorry, my voice is raspy so right now. But at the same point, like we would be living in the technology that was out there. Plus, I think '70s the music would have been good, the drugs would have been good. So I mean,
Hey,
it'd
you
have been a
say drugs?
great time. Yeah, the drugs would have been real good.
Yeah, more pure back then for sure. Smoking on some of that kind bud.
That's
Yeah,
KB.
it was pure.
You sound terrible. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to fight through it, but it is what it is. So
Okay.
yeah. Shout out to all the sick people out there. For real.
sorry, I watched the Lions game.
Yeah, it's all right. He said we playing Mahomes, so I'm gonna sound like him.
Sound like Kermit.
Right. So that's your answer, Trey. I mean, that's
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
what
gonna
you
say probably the '60s, '70s. I'm probably leaning more towards the '70s, just because I feel like it was a funner time than the '60s. I mean, I ain't trying to be scat and boogie. I'm trying to do disco shit.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
a lot of drugs and there's a
I
lot
mean,
of
we got a lot
drugs,
of
a
drugs
lot
now.
of shout out to the gays and a lot of uh yeah,
The only the only thing about the '70s that I would say, like, um, I probably like I feel like that's the reason why I would say the '70s over the '60s because I feel like the '60s there was more racism than the '70s. I feel like '70s it was more of a melting pot. Um, but if you take away the racism, I would definitely
Well, you
say the
can't take away
'70s.
that.
I know you can't, so I'm gonna say the '70s. Yeah, I'll say the '70s.
70s. All right. So real quick, here's a couple of pros and cons about the 70s. It says pros: rise of black feminism and self-discovery gave women new independence. I don't know if that was anyways. Couples explored freer ideas about love, identity, and equality and cultural pride. Black is beautiful, reflected in love and dating. Some cons: shifts in gender roles created tension. Men felt their authority challenged. Economic decline, drugs hit households hard, divorce rates began rising sharply, and distrust between black men and women started to grow culturally. So you didn't have to worry about that last one, Trey. Um, yeah. And if what you get?
Who even knows if back then I could even bag a
Oh,
white girl though? You know what I mean? It
listen,
might have been
nigga,
totally different.
you said you was trying to be at the disco. You know you was trying to get.
I'm
You was
trying to,
definitely gonna
yeah.
be out there with the fro, with the white, with the
Hey,
white
the only
bitches.
white girl you're getting back then, bro, is probably cocaine.
Nah, nigga. He was definitely. That's around that time when it was
What, the
starting to be.
70s?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
nigga.
trying
no,
to get a little
70s
bit
you
of
straight, but the
tight
60s you
pants,
pushing
bell
it.
bottoms,
Go ask
just a
Hey,
little
Richard.
bit of
in the 60s you pushing it.
Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby was killing the '70s with them white hoes. You know
With
it.
well,
the jungle fever.
Facts. Yeah, they was definitely popping. Um, and let's see. What did I say? The '50s. So here's a couple pros and cons for the '50s just to
Hey,
complete.
I do have so like if I wanted to live a life of crime, then probably um the 50s through the 70s. Because they didn't have all that technology back then. So
I mean,
Life
yeah,
could
but
of crime.
you would just be caught now. They would have found your ass some DNA like
bro,
now, and
but
then they'd
if
be showing
I'm
up at your crib, and
I'm,
you've been like
I'm
45, walking you out for you would have
no,
been like
you're not
70.
45, bro.
I
If
mean
I'm
70.
it's
You'd be
in the
like,
50s and I'm 20,
well,
I don't care right now. I lived a good life.
sounds terrible. Um, sounds terrible. I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying
But
though.
yeah,
But
they didn't have all that technology back then. You can't get away with shit right now.
yeah, well, okay. Here's a couple of pros and cons about the '50s. Marriage was viewed as a responsibility and a source of pride. Black families were often strong and close knit despite outside pressure. The church and community reinforced loyalty and structure. Divorce was rare and socially discouraged. Cons: many marriages were built more on duty than emotional connections. Men faced heavy pressure to be providers, no room for vulnerability. Women's roles were limited. Men's authority often went unchecked. Racism and financial hardship created major stress on families. So, I think I covered everybody's kind of pros and cons for everyone's decade that they chose. Swayze brought up a good little um, point in his answer. And as far as my childhood, I would want to stay in the childhood that I was raised in. I don't feel like nothing was better than the late '80s and the '90s as a child. Uh,
Yeah, 85 to
Hands down,
95.
playing outside, bikes, basketball,
Video
baseball in the
games.
street, video games, Michael Jordan, fucking Hulk Hogan, wrestling, just all the shit, Blockbuster, just all the
Yeah.
shit that we just grew up in a great fucking time and transitioned into a whole nother, type of world. So we live both. I think the best of both. I ain't gonna say necessarily the best, but as far as technology advancements go, I feel like our generation is by far the top tier. But as an adult, nah, shit's trash.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I miss the big box TVs.
Yeah. Remember having to move those? Niggas be
Yeah,
I never moved
I don't
them.
miss moving them.
I was too little to move them.
yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. But yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I guess I would like to say fuck football today. Fantasy and real life. That's all I
No,
got.
I'm happy. I know the Bengals, we got our ass whooped. But yeah, fantasy, it's 2 weeks in a row,
Yeah.
two
I
and
think
four.
I'm on my third week in a row. Also, shout out to Jakai and his Flag Fanatics football team for winning their
Yo,
tournament championship today. So shout
so
out to them.
speaking of that, I was thinking something earlier, seeing that we're kind of decent with time here. Um, and maybe Trey, maybe he has some input, but when I ask you how many games did he play and it being exciting, like you want them to win, but like do you have the parents from the other team that piss you off that just get on your nerves or no?
Nah, I
No?
mean
All right.
everybody's pretty cool out there. It's pretty
Okay.
chill. I mean everybody
Because I
kind
mean,
of
when we have baseball or football, I mean, when we play football, the other parents, the crowd, like they just piss you off. You play baseball, they piss you off. So it's like I want my kid to feel that victory, but when they win, bro, I'm looking at the fucking other parents, bro. I'm looking at them, staring them down, because like go home. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of them feelings, bro. Where like they win the game, but at the same time, like them parents, some of them parents be too loud, they be doing too much,
mm-mm.
and
Nah, it'd be some hey dude wearing Starbucks drinking ass white folks
that's
at these
baseball.
games. You know what I mean? So
That's baseball, bro. Football is different. Football is kind of hood, but the baseball crowd, yeah, bunch of hey dudes out there, fucking all that bullshit. I drink
hey,
Starbucks, so
I mean
I
I
don't
ain't
know
no
about the Starbucks drinking.
I just I don't think I don't need it. I'm not like I need to go to Starbucks. I don't have a special Starbucks order. You feel me?
You got to get a mocha latte, 2 pumps of caramel. Fire,
Pause.
bro.
Pause. Did this nigga
How's
just
that
offer
a
me?
pause?
He just offered me 2 pumps of caramel.
2 pumps of
The
caramel,
fuck?
bro. That is not a pause.
Nah, any light skin. This nigga just
I
offered
said
me
it
two
fast
pumps
enough.
of caramel. Is that how they secret?
I'm not caramel though. I don't
That
know what
sounds
I
like
am.
some secret code I don't know nothing about. But yeah, Anyways, in one of them stalls, they got them stalls with the holes in them in the walls. No,
Nah.
Not the glory hole.
is that what it's called?
I think so.
Now he thinks. Um,
You talk
damn.
about the sexual favors on the other side of the stall, bro?
Yeah,
Anything called the glory hole?
Yeah, it's totally called a glory hole.
the nigga knows what a glory hole is, but he didn't know what a mukbang is. Okay.
Yo,
I don't know what
I
a mukbang.
think, yeah, speaking of glory hole,
Hold on,
I
wait, wait,
think
wait, wait.
Jermaine,
No, wait, wait. Let me ask you a question. Everybody, who's braver? What person on what side of the glory hole is the bravest? The person
it
putting their stuff,
depends.
the person
I
putting their
mean,
stuff in the hole, or the person that's doing something with the stuff coming through the hole?
I
Which
feel
who
like
is the
I feel
bravest
like
in
the
this
person
situation?
that's not putting it through the hole that has to do something, you know, because I feel like if you work there, then you got to get tested. You know what
No,
I
no, no,
mean?
no. We're talking about just a we talking about like a motherfucking what's that nigga's name?
Bathroom stall
We talking about,
hole.
yeah, the fucking Daredevil glory hole, you know, the real deal.
I
I would
mean,
say
I feel like you're both taking a risk. I mean, I feel like it would be more of the female, right? That has to, because you don't know what you're gonna get. You could have something that's like, they all look different, I guess. So, but I feel like if you're the dude putting it in a hole, like the mouth gonna feel the same unless, she got some crazy ass like teeth or something where it's gonna like scratch
I'm
you.
a
Hey,
I'm gonna have to say it's the person that's putting it in because you don't know what's on the other end. I mean,
yeah,
who knows? You could
it could be a dude. You up
Yeah,
here
but
just
yeah, you could be a
oh,
dude.
and you
It
just
could
was
be
like,
somebody with a knife,
I mean, a
choppy
mouth is
chop.
and you just sat there
a
and said, I mean, a
knife.
mouth is a mouth. That's literally what you said. A mouth is a mouth.
I mean, but I'm assuming that it's a guy and a girl though, not. I mean, yeah,
Assuming that's your
if
assuming
Exactly.
that's
though,
the
man.
case, if that's
Exactly.
the case, then yeah, the person that's putting it in the hole, because if it could be a guy on the other end, then yeah. But I mean, if
Boom.
you're the person that's waiting for something to come through the hole, then obviously you like penis, unless there's gonna be like a little,
Yeah. I mean, I
But
guess my
yeah,
you still got diseases to worry about. I mean, damn, you ain't no savage out here, are
I
you?
mean, then
It's
you're
just like
both at risk. I mean, yeah,
yeah. So we got to the same part. You answered the question. The whoever putting something in the hole is, especially if it's a guy, I guess,
What if you
because
actually
I
did a
mean, I
glory
feel like
hole and you walked out and there was a dude on the other end?
at
You
least
walked
the
out of that
person
stall and
that
there's a dude.
yeah, at least
What
the
would you
person
do?
that has to put it in their mouth can like see what the penis looks like. So if there's like a bunch of shit on it, then you know not to touch it, but you can't see through the hole and see what that mouth look like.
right. So you're saying the person, the guy is the
Yeah,
brave.
like Trey
He's the brave.
said, with the one putting it in, bro, you don't know what you're doing because
Okay. Trey,
you know,
Trey, you think you agree?
yeah, he
You agree? Shannon, what you think, bro? Or sorry, Trey, if you was about to say something.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree. Putting it in, it's probably you're pretty courageous at that point. I mean, you have hope that you're gonna get not only one something good, but two something female, and three you're not getting a psycho that's just gonna Lorraine Bobbitt your shit. Lorena Bobbitt, is that her name?
Yeah.
Could have cut up,
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
could have chopped off that dude's dick.
That was her.
Yeah.
The
Shout
dick
out to
chopper.
Ginsu Knives. Shannon, what's your answer?
I agree. I think it would be the person that's putting it through the hole.
Through the hole. All
I
right.
think that's risky.
All right. Well,
Have y'all ever seen a glory hole?
I've never seen one.
the
I've seen
I,
closest thing I've seen
I've
to a
never seen
glory
one.
hole, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I went there with Jermaine. If I didn't, we didn't go to some place, bro, where motherfuckers was dancing.
yeah, behind the like
Yeah, that was
the
the
L Cool
weirdest
J
place I
shit.
ever been to.
Yeah, you put the money in the thing and the little door closed. That
Yo,
shit was weird. That
that
shit
was
was like a
damn
little.
near that felt like the same. They probably had glory holes somewhere in that
I'm
building.
sure they probably did, but
Oh, is
that
that
shit.
like a strip club where you got to put
And it
money in
wasn't
and
a
it
strip
opens up?
club, bro. It was Jermaine took me to a place. I think we were with Trey too, but they took me to a place where you go in. It's an adult store. You go in. You
Oh,
got
okay.
the magazines, the dildos, the whips, the outfits. But then you go through another door, and when you go through that door, you got a fucking person behind this glass that's just dancing. And when you're like you go in the door and like, it's very, it's not a lot of space, just enough space for you to sit down and the glass is right in front of you and like some chick just comes out and they start dancing. But the more moving, like to get them moving and shit, you got to put money in there. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I obviously I didn't put no money in there, so we was just staring at each other.
Yeah, that shit was ghetto. That shit was
That shit
ghetto as
was
fuck.
horrible.
And it felt like definitely if human trafficking, if I was ever a part of human trafficking, I don't even know if I can probably say that, so we'll probably beep that out. But if I was ever part of that, uh, that would have been it. You know what I'm saying?
That shit was
It
wild.
definitely gave like human zoo up in that bitch. Uh, so yeah. Speaking of, I guess risky behaviors and shit like that. Oftentimes when people get older, they go through midlife crisis. Uh, so I like to speak on that.
Yo, you said you got to be careful. You said things like that. That's the old boy from Springfield. You know, the dude that be going to the grocery stores. You got a dollar? You give him
Uh,
a dollar.
oh yeah, and things like that. They're
Things
like
like that.
that.
Hey, the more
Buying a
hey, the
snack or
more he
something.
getting,
Huh?
he's starting to get money now.
Hell yeah.
He's starting to be he's more black now with the money.
All right, dick heads and dick holes, booty holes, coochie holes, all of that shit. Black holes, potholes.
Start over.
Stuff. Uh,
After
no,
you said that, the last couple holes, you, yeah, it's doing too much, man.
I mean, but if it's a glory hole, you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you got to get out there and live a little. And sometimes when niggas go out and they call themselves living a little, some say that guy's living the time of his life. Others say he's in a midlife crisis. Which brings us to our next topic. How the fuck do you know? What are some telltale signs, or what do you feel like it means when a man is going through a midlife crisis? What are some things that do you believe in them? Do you think they're stereotypes, or they're just like, oh nah, he's only doing that because he's in the midlife crisis?
I think when you start doing stuff that's not like your norm, like you're trying to live out your youth, you know what I mean? There's certain things that you didn't do in your youth that you're trying to do. Like I say, and not for me, for instance, but just for example, like there's this like for you, you always wanted to have like a motorcycle, and like you're in you're 40, 45, and you go get a crotch rocket or something, you know what I mean? Like you know you have no business being on a crotch rocket, you know, you go get yourself a cruiser. But I feel like, you know what I mean, like a lot of the stuff that they try to do is when you're in a midlife crisis, something that you wanted to do when you're 20s and 30s, but you were never able to do that. So you want to live that now in your 40s or 50s, trying to, but
So, I mean, do you think there's some shit? Does it why's it got to be a midlife crisis though? What if he been tied down with the wrong bitch his whole life? He finally free and the kids is grown now, and it's like, I'm out of here. I done wasted the last 25 years of my life, and maybe he just want a fast car now. He don't got no kids to drive around. Why's it got to be a crisis though?
I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do with it, man. You trying to get a fast car to, you know what I mean, just have a fast car, or you know what I mean? Are you trying to live your youth out? You know what I mean? I guess there's a difference between, having a nice fancy stuff or trying to be in your 20s and 30s again. You know what I mean? Like, um, for instance, like if you let's say you wanted to, you know what I mean? You're talking about fast cars. You wanted you were into a lot in the street racing and shit like that. So you go get, and I'm not saying like it's not what you're talking about. You're talking about like probably like a Mercedes or a fucking BMW or some shit like that. But let's say you fucking go grab a Honda Accord 2-door with a V6 engine in it, suit that motherfucker up, put a high spoiler on that motherfucker, get some 22-inch rims with the small boy tires on it. Nigga, you 40, let's say you 50. Nigga, you a midlife crisis right there, bro. Like that's not for 50-year-olds to be riding around and, big ass spoilers and fucking Honda Accords and, have a souped up fucking car with Nas pumping out the back of it. Yeah, that's not for you, buddy.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's very specific. Uh, so shout out to the big spoilers and shit like that.
Uh,
Swayze, what do you think, bro?
I mean, I don't know. Shit. I mean, I feel like midlife crisis is more like, I don't know.
Putting your dick in a glory hole at the titty lounge.
The titty bar.
I feel like that's more like a period of like emotional like questioning, like with yourself. Um, you know, wondering, one, realizing that, life is damn near halfway over, um, but just wondering if, you did enough, if they're, just, I feel like now, especially with social media, I feel like you might see more cases of, people having a midlife crisis. Just like being happy with where you are right now, thinking if they're, did you run out of time and shit like that. I feel like what Trey said, like, souping up a car and driving a fucking rice rocket. I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe that person now has like the money to do shit they want to do when they were younger. Um, similar to people buying J's. Like we couldn't get J's back in the day, we're buying them now because we got money and we can do that. But yeah, for me,
I
it's
think I
just
think J's are universal though. J's are anytime.
yeah.
You got
But I
niggas in their
mean,
90s still buying J's.
yeah, but I mean, so are cars, I guess. Like when we get older, it's no different than seeing like an 80-year-old in a fucking 1960, 1970 Mustang or Corvette, souping that shit up. Whether it's that or a Honda Civic SI or some shit. Um, but yeah, I don't feel like I haven't had a midlife crisis yet. So um, I feel like that's between like the ages of what, like 35, 55, maybe somewhere
Yeah, I would
around
say that's
there.
probably around that time.
But
My fault.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that can cause a midlife crisis. Um, feeling stuck, undervalued, kids. I don't know.
Okay. I personally think there's a fine line between a midlife crisis and just enjoying life. Um, and I don't know if I necessarily. It depends on, I guess, how you're saying it. But coming to the realization that you do only have so much time left on Earth. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be just like now you have the money or the resources. Or the mental, you're in a whole different mental place at this point in time in your life, and maybe you're braver now than you were before. You're more courageous, so you don't give a fuck no more what, like, you're just one of those I'm a dance if like nobody's watching type shits, like where you don't give a fuck what people think no more, so you're gonna do whatever you want to do. You're gonna enjoy. You maybe you spent the first 43, 45, 50 years of your life worrying about how you are perceived by other people, and then you get to a point where you don't give a fuck no more. You're just gonna live life on your own terms. So I guess from the outside looking in, or yeah, or from afar, when you see that old man in a red Corvette with the top down, and whatever, it's easy to say, I guess kind of look at him like, look at him, he's having a midlife crisis or whatever. But I guess it would have to be a case by case basis. You have to kind of be close to somebody to kind of be like, hey, yo, nigga, you know what I'm saying? This nigga done switched up real quick. Like, what is he doing? That's not you. You feel me? Um, and I guess that's on a material level. I think maybe a midlife crisis can just be also a mental state. Maybe a midlife crisis could be just more of a like a breakdown. of who you are, and losing foundation and losing focus and losing sight on, uh, your journey, your path. And then also that same time frame of how much time do I have left starts to creep in your mind, and then you're not happy of where you are in life. So then you might become distant and uh, you know more solitary and shit like that. So I mean, I look at that, and that could be a midlife crisis. I don't look at it necessarily just because a nigga wants to start having fun and enjoying things and buying things uh, that he wouldn't have necessarily bought years ago or something like that. So that's all I got so far with that. Shannon, this was your minor that you brought up. What's your thoughts? That's all I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
let
So,
you go last.
so, so surprisingly, I did some research and I'm running down this list of symptoms of midlife crisis.
Shout out to research.
You web indeed it.
So, so on the list of like men in midlife crisis, the symptoms: emotional turmoil, mo mood swings, restlessness, boredom, impulsive behavior, change in ambition, withdrawal, health concerns, and sexual changes. So I definitely kind of brought this up because I sometimes wonder sometimes what I may be going through. So I think I can resonate with some of these categories of, just kind of like the change in life in general. So I think
Okay.
I feel you when it comes to like that mental state of why am I here? What is this? So I did bring this topic up because I kind of resonate with some of the topics that I did research, kind of like that change in ambition, change in career, just changing life in general.
Okay. So do you think
Um,
you think you're going through a midlife crisis, or you may be?
I think I might be for real, for real.
But
Also, that age range that I did look up, it was 40 to 55. That's that range of when men experience midlife crisis.
so
Um,
you shopping for a new car?
uh, I'm shopping for a new life.
So you shopping for a younger bitch? Hmm.
I mean, maybe.
Okay. All right. Okay.
As long as it has grass in the field.
What do you mean by that?
Mm-mm.
Good to play.
No. No. No.
No, no.
It's a joke. It's a joke, folks. It's a joke.
That was a
Uh,
joke.
It's a joke, listeners.
okay. So what do you think? I guess. So what are some things that you would feel like is lacking? I guess so that would be lacking in your not necessarily your personal situation, but you having these kind of thoughts or whatever. Say a person that may be in full midlife crisis. What are you picturing? What are you tell me some things like what are they doing? What's their day to day? Or what what are they thinking, and what do you think that they're thinking about, I guess?
I mean, I don't mind making this personal for me. One of the changes in my life is I don't really have the desire to talk to anybody, which is super new to me. I don't have a desire to have a conversation. I don't have a desire to, you know, talk to anybody. I'm cool with kind of being in my space and just chilling, which is new for me. And that does make me think, like, am I going through some sort of midlife crisis where I'm not necessarily interested in talking to anybody?
Okay. There's tons of people out there though that don't want to talk to that don't want to talk to folks. They don't want to be bothered. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. You just
Yeah, yeah.
searching for
Yeah,
some peace.
Were
I
you
would
ever
I wouldn't say
extrovert though?
that would be a midlife crisis.
You said what?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think that would like fall into like you having a midlife crisis.
Let
Not
me ask you
that,
something real quick,
but
Shannon. Were you ever a extrovert? Like, were you ever like an extroverted person where you would just go out and be that guy that you know what I mean? That I'm trying to talk to everyone in at the party or whatever. You know what I mean?
I've never been that guy. I've never been that guy to kind of stand out in the crowd and want to talk to people, and but it's definitely different. Last
But
year or
you
so
all,
it's been kind of different for me because
yeah.
it's cool if I don't talk to nobody. I'm cool with that. Uh,
So let me ask you this: if you were at a, do you go to football games at all?
yeah, yeah, I go to football games every so often.
Every so often. So let's say you go to a football game by yourself, you're sitting by some rando beside you, also another Jacksonville fan. Do you get into a conversation with him about the game, or do you just like kind of uh whatever? Or is that kind of that's something like different that's going on right now? Is that something that you were like, I used to do in the past, but I don't feel like I feel like fucking doing it, or would you not even go to a fucking football game now?
If I went to a football game and kind of, was chilling by myself, if the person next to me had a conversation with me, I would hold that conversation down. But in my mind, I can't wait for this conversation to be over.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. No, I mean
Is that
that.
a midlife crisis? Who knows? Is it just kind of a
Yeah,
person that doesn't really like having a conversation with new people? It could be. As I kind of navigate my 40s, I do kind of wonder, am I going through a midlife crisis? For those reasons, I have, my change in life of it doesn't matter to me, right? I don't really care to talk to anybody. If you talk to me, cool. If you don't, you don't. I don't really have much to say anymore like I used to. And is
yeah,
that a midlife? Is that a midlife crisis, or is it just kind of changing life? That's where the topic came from.
no, I feel you. So, is you are you going through a midlife crisis right now, though?
Me, I mean, I don't think so. Not yet, anyway. Um,
I got some
yeah.
information for you real quick just to help you decide whether any of us we are having midlife crisis. According to ChatGPT, some signs of going through a midlife crisis would be loss of motivation or focus, random irritability, obsessing over missed opportunities or youth, sudden urges to start over or prove yourself, making impulsive choices such as affairs, quitting jobs, reckless spending, questioning long term relationships or friendships, feeling invisible or unappreciated, and anxiety or quiet depression hidden behind I'm fine. So,
So, by the definition, I feel like 75% of it, I've been like doing that shit my whole life. So, have I been through like a midlife crisis since I was like 18? Is that like, is that what's been going on my whole life?
that's what it is, buddy. We figured it out and we fixed you now.
Figure it out. I don't know if there's any fixing this, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
So I don't know. I guess sorry, Swayze, and my bad. Go ahead. Because I definitely cut you off with that information. So go ahead. My bad.
Um, I mean, I guess the answer no. Um, like Trey just said, I mean, I feel like being depressed, there's been many moments in my life when, I felt depressed. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't really regret the life that I've lived. Um, I'm more excited than anything. Watching my kids grow and just seeing them change every day. Um, I feel like the only thing that would make me depressed is like running out of time. You know what I mean? I guess midlife crisis close to that would just be not treating my body, like better. Wishing I could, go back and kind of start over and be more healthier.
Your body is a
That way I
temple.
could live longer. I want to see grandkids and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't really think I'm having a midlife crisis, or I haven't had one yet. Kind of all the things that you just stated, I've dealt with that already. Shit, since I can remember teenage days. So, like Trey said, maybe I've been going through a midlife crisis my whole life, but um, yeah, I feel like I'm more positive than I am negative in life right now, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I feel like as long as you're not doing as long as you're whatever things that you are doing or any guy out there, or woman is doing, if they're doing it for strictly for their own happiness, I don't consider that a midlife crisis. But if you are acting and behaving in a way to get approval from somebody else, or uh, you know, try to, I guess, fill a void that you may have, that you might be subconsciously trying to fill, I guess, then I think you're just living life, and there are no rules, even though all these people have all this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things, and we don't know, bro. Everybody lives their life, and then we perish, and to where what happens after that, don't know. There's nobody that been able to tell us for sure what we're experiencing and what's really truly gonna make us happy. So.
I will tell you one thing though. I really wish I could have a midlife crisis, but my funds are insufficient, so I can't
Well,
really do that.
well, that's part of it. I mean, you could be have that just because you don't gotta have money to have a midlife crisis. You can be broke and have a midlife crisis too. You might buy extra.
It's not
You
as
might
fun.
you might get extra pepperoni on your pizza when you know
You
you
have
can
extra
afford it.
pepperoni.
Think you stunting on
Get
bitches, but
that double pepperoni on that pizza.
yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, you might be going to spend your last 25, 50, $100 at the casino because you just know, like, you know what, this is going to be the one. And you putting your financial situations in jeopardy because you swinging for the fences because you're like, hey, I knew I'm going to be rich. I can't be poor the rest of my life. I just can't. And so that's a midlife crisis, you know?
Yeah.
So
You
Swayze
can
with these 25 leg parlays, is that
midlife crisis.
Definitely
nah, I
not a
was fucking with
midlife crisis.
you. I'm fucking with you, bro.
Uh,
It's had to bring it up.
So, Shannon, let me ask you, what do you think somebody that may be experiencing a midlife crisis, speaking from a man's point of view, because that's all we can do. Shout out to the men, shout out to the women, shout out to, actually, that's it. Uh, what do you think that they can do to, I guess, fix that or get through the midlife crisis and come out on the other end?
Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that answer. Yeah, I really don't know that answer. And I guess that might be my answer as a person that's considering possibly going through a midlife crisis. I don't know what that answer is.
Uh, so I don't know. I guess it's a way you can look at it though um is more like it's not like you're like this part of your life is broken or a breakdown. It could be like a recalibration, a reset. You know what I mean? And so where you trying to figure yourself out again, men who might have spent again the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years maybe married again. They've been a father the last 20 something years. They've been raised kids. And now that they're out the house and, a relationship, you realize maybe a relationship, we only stayed together because of the kids. And now it's just me and you. And I don't really like you too much. So, things change, relationships change, and I guess your, daily lives may suddenly change. So learning how to kind of live a different way could just be another way for you to kind of like figure out yourself, I guess. I said that by going right back around to the same thing. What do you think?
Well,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, even if anyone, even if you are going through a midlife crisis, just real quick question. Do you think having a midlife crisis, you think that's a good or a bad thing? Just quick answer.
I guess it depends on how you handle it. Once you
Okay.
realize what it is, it depends on how you handle it.
The reason I said that is because I don't think like it's always a bad thing. You know, like you have a midlife crisis, It could be like a turning point, you know what I mean? Help you get healthier, reconnect spiritually, reconnect with your family. Um, feel like there's some positive things that can come out of a midlife crisis if you were to have one. So,
Absolutely. I
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that. And it's funny Swayze said that, and I scrolled a little bit more on this Chat GPT. Shout out to Chat GPT. And it kind of basically just said what Swayze said. It said the bottom line, it says a midlife crisis isn't a sign that you've lost it. It's your soul asking for realignment. You've been called to shift from proving yourself to knowing yourself. So when you stop chasing what's fading, start living what's real. So I thought
Hmm.
pretty
Yeah, I
dope.
fucks with that.
Yeah, that's all. So, anybody else? Y'all got any other thoughts? Anybody want to come? If we do, have we come to a clear, or is we just, just shooting the shit?
Shooting the shit.
Obviously we don't have an answer. I don't have an answer, but just kind of think I've
I
shared my
mean,
thoughts on that.
we kind of the only thing I say we kind of all in that age, right? Or we're entering that age. You know what I mean? Where we're might be experiencing it, but I mean, at the same point, I don't know. I feel like I have no regrets, or you know what I mean. When I here's the thing, when I wanted to do something, I tried to do it. If it didn't work, it didn't work. So I really don't have anything like regretful. But at the same point, like I don't know, there's certain things that I wanted to do um, that I wish I could have done. And to be honest, I mean, it still could be done. You know, I don't think it's necessarily a midnight crisis. You have certain goals as a you have certain goals, you know, when you're hit your 18, 20s, whatever that you're trying to accomplish. And just because you're still striving to get to those goals, I don't think uh that that necessarily put you into that midlife crisis phase because you're still trying to reach those goals. Just because you didn't reach them in your 20s, just because you didn't reach them in your 30s, and now you're in your 40s or 50s or whatever, and you're still reaching for those goals. You just set on what you're trying to do, set on what you're trying to be. You know what I mean? Who knows today's day and age? Who knows how old we're gonna be? You know, when we actually die. I could die tomorrow. I could die like my when my grandma died at 98. So who knows? Just keep on striving to what you're trying to do. Keep on trying to build yourself to be a stronger man day by day. And you know, what I mean, that's all you really can do. I know that kind of went off a edge there, but at the same point, like it's all I'm trying to say is basically just because we're at a certain age doesn't mean we can't go after our goals.
Right.
And
We don't serve a purpose.
yeah,
Right. Yeah,
if that made any sense at all.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
I agree with you. Um, Again, if you're still here, thank you for sharing, everybody, by the way. And if you're still with us, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And if you have any advice for anybody that may be going through a midlife crisis, you know what I'm saying? Let us know down below. Um, Before we get up out of here, does anybody have bars? If nobody has bars, I got Looking for Love. I want to get in here. Get that in there real quick. We got a special one today. We got a first tonight on Looking for Love. Does anybody got bars though?
um,
I do not.
no bars.
I don't have a bar either.
All right.
I got like a super easy one though.
Well,
Um,
let's hear it.
we used to fuss when the landlord dissed us. No heat. Wonder why Christmas missed us.
That
Birthdays
was
was
super
the
easy.
worst days. Now we sip champagne when we thirst.
That's my bar.
Hey, Biggie.
Yeah, that one's too easy. I try and come up with something that's like that you should know. Um, you know,
Right.
a little difficult, but that was easy. So that wasn't fun. Um, I start to think and then I sink into the paper like I was ink. When I'm writing, I'm trapped, and between lines, I escape when I finish the rhyme.
I don't know that one, buddy.
It's Rakim.
Again, yeah.
Shout out to Rakim. Shout out to Notorious B.I.G. I don't got a bar. Not right now. I can't. I got one, but I don't have it. I can't think of the whole thing. So pause. So I'm on. Shannon, you got a bar?
I don't have a bar.
You don't have a bar. All right. So, guys, we got our first guy. We got our first guy in Looking for Love. All right. So, ladies, listen up closely. His name is Timothy. This is Timothy. All right. I'm gonna let the fella sing. Kind of looks like Swayze, don't he? That kind of look like
Nah.
slightly, just a little
You
bit.
can say he looked like Trey. He's just light skinned.
This Trey ain't got no
Dude
beard.
don't look nothing like me, bro.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, Timothy, 33, and this is sent by one of our female listeners, so shout out to them. Timothy, 33, he's in from the Bronx, New York, but he currently resides in Temple Terrace, Florida. So, dudes aren't honest. However, I am. I sell security from New York City, Dominican, U.S. Marine combat vet. I'm a grown man, all caps. I train like a warrior. Don't come here thinking you running shit. I lead and you follow. I know the purpose God created for me, so I don't need you to tell me. Just gotta earn it. Simple. I'm looking for someone soft and submissive and respectful. That's the woman I'll wife. Play games and you'll win stupid prizes. May the odds forever be in your favor. Timothy, 33.
How many balloons get busted from the bitches after they read that?
I don't know. But hey, ladies, if you're looking for a man of God, Dominican,
That
from New
shit
York,
sounds scary.
but live in Florida, shut the fuck up and cook something and let him guide the fucking ship. This is the man. This is the man for you.
I was gonna say after reading that, man, have the cops on speed dial too if you gonna go chase that.
Hey, you know, Team Light Skin. Shout out to the light skin. Shout out to the dark skins. Again, Trey, S. Dot, Swayze. Appreciate y'all time. Thank y'all for being here. Love y'all. Redhead, deadhead, bro. Happy birthday, by the way. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Trey.
Get that.
Happy birthday, Trey.
And it is what it is, man. Until next time, we out.
Peace.
Respectfully. Throwing them gang signs, bro. I don't know about that shit.